Let's peel back the layers of Krillin, one of Dragon Ball Z's most complex characters. While not the strongest in the room, Krillin's courage and heart reveal a narrative rich with psychological depth. To truly understand Krillin, we must explore his core Enneagram type, which we suggest is Type 6, the Loyalist. Type 6 individuals are marked by a fundamental fear of being without support or guidance, driven by an intense desire for security and stability. For Krillin, this manifests in his unwavering loyalty to his friends and the lengths he goes to ensure their safety. Krillin's survival rule is to always be prepared for worst-case scenarios, a defense mechanism rooted in his core fear of abandonment and betrayal. This fear fuels his gift of adaptability, allowing him to navigate the perilous world he inhabits. However, it also shadows him with self-doubt and hesitation, threatening to undermine his self-worth. Imagine Krillin standing in the shadow of his more powerful peers, like Goku, who epitomizes the Enneagram Type 9, the peacemaker, with a calm presence and innate ability to find harmony even amidst chaos. Krillin's formative ecosystem is crucial to understanding his inner workings. He grew up in the strict and disciplined environment of the Orin Temple, where strength defined status and worth. Here, young Krillin learned that to survive, he needed to be resourceful and dependable. His interactions with Master Roshi further honed his skills, but also instilled in him the belief that true power extends beyond mere physical prowess. Roshi, serving the archetype of the mentor, guided Krillin to see that strength is also about wisdom and heart. In his early relationships, Krillin's strategy of aligning himself with stronger allies was both a source of validation and vulnerability. Goku, his childhood friend, often unknowingly activated Krillin's fears of inadequacy. Yet, it was through these bonds that Krillin found glimpses of his true strength. His relationship with Gohan, another pivotal figure, highlighted his protective instincts and capacity for deep care, playing to his core desire to be needed and valued. Chronologically, Krillin's arc is a tapestry of belonging, bravery, and usefulness. Each turning point in his journey ties back to his core motivations. Consider his decision to fight alongside his friends during the battle against the Saiyans, and later, against the fearsome Frieza. These moments are less about glory and more about proving his worth to himself and his companions, reflecting his internal battle between the shadow of fear and the light of courage. Confronting Android 18 was a defining moment for Krillin, blurring the lines between enemy and ally. Here, Krillin's growth shines through his ability to see beyond labels, recognizing the humanity in a being designed to destroy him and his friends. This act of compassion marks a significant step away from his fear-driven reactions towards a more integrated and healthy expression of his Enneagram type. Shadow versus growth is a constant theme in Krillin's journey. When Krillin succumbs to his fears, we see hesitation, anxiety, and moments of self-sabotage. However, when he embraces growth, he becomes a beacon of bravery and loyalty, inspiring those around him. The transformation is evident when he chooses to trust Android 18, a decision that not only alters his path but enriches his life with love and family. Krillin's story poses a profound question. What does courage look like when you are not the strongest person in the room? Krillin shows us that it is not about overpowering others, but about standing firm in one's convictions, even when surrounded by giants. His character challenges the notion of strength, redefining it as the ability to protect, sacrifice, and persist in training, regardless of the odds. In Dragon Ball Z's world, where might often equates to right, Krillin's persistence in training and his willingness to sacrifice himself highlight a different kind of heroism. He embodies the archetype of the everyman, relatable in his struggles and inspiring in his resilience. As viewers, it's worth reflecting on the survival rules we recognize in ourselves. Are they helping us become who we aspire to be, or do they keep us stuck in patterns of fear? Krillin's journey invites us to question the narratives we live by and to consider the power of flexibility and growth in overcoming our shadows. And so, as we close this exploration, remember to look beyond the obvious battles and consider the inner struggles that define true strength. Krillin's narrative weaves a tapestry rich with the threads of inner conflict and resolution, a dance between what is visible and the less tangible inner battles. The moment Krillin decides to spare Android 18 reveals the heart of his complexity. On the surface, it's a simple act of mercy, but beneath lies a potent symbol of transformation and reconciliation with his shadow self. The android, a manifestation of his fear of inadequacy and destruction, becomes a mirror reflecting his own potential for growth and empathy. This decision to spare her embodies Krillin's journey towards self-acceptance and courage. It's not merely an act of love, but a declaration of his belief in the possibility of redemption and change, both in others and within himself. This act can be seen as Krillin confronting his Enneagram Type 6 core fear, the fear of being without support or guidance. By choosing to stand by his convictions alone, he dismantles the illusion that strength comes from external validation, discovering instead that it lies in the courage to embrace uncertainty with an open heart. The psychological tension present in Krillin's life often manifests in his relationships, particularly with Goku. As Goku embodies the hero archetype, bold, relentless, and seemingly invincible, Krillin's journey as the everyman is cast in sharper relief. Goku's immense power and unwavering bravery constantly highlight Krillin's insecurities, yet they also inspire him to push past his perceived limitations. Their interactions serve as a microcosm of the Enneagram Type 6 dynamic, where loyalty and fear intertwine, prompting growth through the challenges posed by perceived inadequacy. In moments of crisis, Krillin's reactive tendencies can manifest as paralysis or indecision, reflecting his struggle with the shadow aspects of his personality. However, these moments also offer glimpses into his capacity for remarkable bravery. Consider the scene where Krillin confronts his fear head-on by choosing to fight against overwhelming odds. This decision is not driven by a desire to prove his worth to others, but rather by an internal resolve to act in alignment with his values. It is here that we witness the integration of his shadow, the transformation of fear into a conscious, courageous action. The nuanced interplay between fear and courage in Krillin's journey speaks to the universal human experience. It invites viewers to consider how fear shapes our own lives and decisions. Are we, like Krillin, held back by our shadows? Or do we strive to integrate them into a more harmonious whole? This dynamic is not merely a battle between opposing forces, but a delicate balancing act, a continuous negotiation between the known and the unknown, the safe and the risky. Krillin's bond with Android 18 further deepens this exploration. Their relationship unfolds as a testament to his capacity for trust and vulnerability, qualities often overshadowed by his anxiety. In choosing love over fear, Krillin embraces a path that defies the typical narrative of strength, suggesting that true power lies in the courage to be vulnerable. This narrative thread challenges us to reassess our definitions of strength and victory, proposing that sometimes the greatest triumph is the one over our internal demons. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, Krillin's development is marked by his ability to adapt, a key trait of the Enneagram Type 6. His willingness to evolve in response to new challenges and relationships demonstrates a resilience that transcends physical strength. It's this adaptability that allows him to transcend his initial role as a secondary character, stepping into a fuller, more authentic version of himself. The story of Krillin is, at its core, a story of resilience, a testament to the power of the human spirit to grow and transform. It reminds us that within each struggle lies the potential for growth, and within each fear, a hidden strength waiting to be discovered. As we reflect on his journey, we are encouraged to examine our own lives, to recognize the shadows we must integrate, and to seek the courage to redefine our narratives in pursuit of our truest selves.